Welcome back to Doll Logic. I'm your host, the Doll. Today we're reacting to a debate between David Wood and Jake Brancatella on the Islamic Dilemma. Let's apply a little logic and see what survives.
There's nothing within Allah's nature that requires that he preserve any scripture. He willed to preserve the Quran. He did not will to preserve the entirety of the original Torah or Injil or other revelations.
So with respect to his revealed scriptures sent down, you would say his will is divided. He has willed to preserve the Quran, but not the other scriptures.
Correct.
Okay. So why would you believe that he would will the preservation of the Quran and not the other scriptures that the Quran says it's confirming?
Because the Quran is the final revelation for mankind, and it's applicable to all of mankind, whereas the previous revelations were not. They were for specific groups of people, for specific times, and that was part of God's plan. He always had it in that manner. Now, when the final revelation comes along, and it's for all of mankind and all time going forward, he chooses to preserve that according to his plan.
All right, pause it right there, because this is where the logic starts doing gymnastics. So the claim is, God revealed multiple books, but humans corrupted them. Okay, then we're told the Quran is different, because this time, God decided to preserve it perfectly. And when you ask why the earlier books weren't preserved the same way, the answer is, because God chose not to. Which is interesting, because that explanation works for literally any question. Why didn't God preserve the Torah? He chose not to. Why didn't he preserve the gospel? He chose not to. Why should I believe this one is different? Because he chose to. At that point, we're not doing reasoning anymore. We're just declaring victory and walking away. That's a permission slip to stop thinking. Shut up. Don't ask any questions, you fool. Who are you to question Allah? Believe because it is the way God willed it to be. All right, let's keep watching.
In the final revelation he gives as one of the reasons Jews and Christians should believe in that revelation, that it's confirming ours, wouldn't it have been good to preserve our scriptures so that they would actually line up, instead of allowing ours to be corrupted so that they don't line up and then the argument doesn't work at all?
Well, I don't really understand how this relates to the Islamic dilemma specifically. I mean, it's not really directly on the point, but I'll answer it anyway. We believe that God chose not to preserve those scriptures. Now, we believe that he preserved enough of them in order for the Jews and Christians or previous peoples who followed previous books and laws that he sent down. He preserved enough to be able to point towards the truth of the Quran.
So the previous scriptures, the Torah and the Gospel and whatever else Allah has revealed, they kind of they have like an expiration date, like milk, right?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, you said they're just revealed for a certain place, for a certain group at a certain time, and that they're,
that's what his plan was. That for specific groups of people, he revealed certain laws. You even agreed with that when you were citing Quran 548. I don't agree with your interpretation of that, but yes, he revealed certain revelations and laws for certain groups of people that was context dependent.
Now, since these revelations expire, then when Allah is saying in the Quran to Jews and Christians, hey, how are you rejecting this guy's revelations when they confirm your revelations? And you said,
all right, pause, because now the explanation just changed again. We are told the earlier scriptures weren't preserved because they were only meant for specific people at a specific time. Okay, but then we are also told those same scriptures confirm the Quran, which immediately raises a problem. If those scriptures are too unreliable to preserve, why are they reliable enough to confirm anything? You can't say, These books weren't protected because they don't matter anymore, and then turn around and say, but they totally agree with us. And here's where it gets even stranger. Muslims are often told that Muhammad was prophesied in the Bible. But wait, isn't that the same Bible we're told is corrupted? So which is it? Is the Bible unreliable, or is it reliable only when it seems to support the Quran? Because you don't get to treat a source like trash one minute and like testimony the next. That's not selective preservation. That's selective credibility. And selective credibility isn't an argument, it's a strategy. Dilemma. Honestly, at this point, the scriptures have had more plot twists than a daytime soap opera.